Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This is Beth Kozik from Elegant Greetings. Thank you for being here on our Saturday catalog Copycat cards. It is another beautiful Saturday here in Michigan. Football Saturday, so go green. Hopefully you're going to be cheering on your favorite college team as well. And thank you for joining me. I had the opportunity last weekend to go hang out with our daughter at MSU. So we did some tailgating and had a really great day there. So I missed doing my video, but I'm back again this week. And we always start by giving away the project that I made. So 2 weeks ago, I used the Rustic Harvest Suite to make this really beautiful card. This is the designer series paper. So super easy to put together, a very easy card with just a little bit of effort. There's really not a lot of stamping on here other than the greeting that we then die cut out of another piece of designer series paper. And I did this really cool technique where we cut apart a piece of the new ribbon that we have. It's kind of like a cotton ribbon, and it frayed really easily. So we made this like fringy kind of an accent here on the side. Added a few of our Rustic Harvest crystals that come with that suite, and also dry embossed the card front. So just a really, really beautiful fall card with the mums on it. I absolutely love all the colors. So thank you so much for everybody who commented. I have a lot of viewers, and those who comment get an opportunity to win the project that I make. I always mail that right out to the winner. So let's go ahead and see who is going to get this card. Okay, and our winner this week is Dorcas. So thank you, Dorcas, so much for watching. I appreciate everybody watching, of course. Okay, this is the Hello Harvest. This is the suite that I had used for that card. So this is the stamp set and the coordinating die set. So of course, always 10% off on the bundle. And this is available in our mini catalog. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. I have a really awesome suite of products to show everybody. This is something that Stampin' Up! Just made available through the month of October. It's basically a collection is what they're calling it. So of course the designer series paper, it has these awesome, they're called, let's see what these are called, gold adhesive backed swirls. And get some light here. And so these are part of the collection. And then there are 2 stamp sets. So there's one bundle, which is called, this whole suite is called the Fitting Florets. And this is the bundle. So framed florets, gorgeous stamp set. And it is photopolymer. There are 13. It has some really lovely sentiments and of course all these really fun flowers. It's perfect for those who like to color in. We could use blends, we could use our aqua paint or water painters and use some ink to color, to watercoloring. We could use colored pencils with our blender pens. So lots of different options with that. And then these are the awesome dies that coordinate. So there's these ovals and frames. They're just the prettiest. And then all the pieces that coordinate with the stamp set itself. So this bundle will be carrying over to our January to, oh, I think I put the wrong letter on here. So it should be JJ23. So January to June 23 mini catalog. So it's an early purchase opportunity. So this carries over. And then there is an additional stamp set, which is available now. And this one is called Framed and Festive. So all of these are more of a holiday, Christmas sentiments that can be coordinated with all of the dies and the florals in the stamp set. So this stamp set and these swirl embellishments and the designer series paper, which let me show this, it's absolutely gorgeous. These 3 products are available only while supplies last. So this will become available to everyone to order November 1st while supplies last. Look at these beautiful papers. I am in love. They're absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors, the pinks, the greens, the blues. So pretty. These are all 12 by 12, and there's 12 sheets in every package. And that's just $12. So again, these 3 products will be available November 1st. And then these, of course, are available in November as well and will carry over. So I'm planning to design an entire class that will take place in November. So I will get that email communication out pretty soon. And it will include this entire suite, I think is $97.50 to get everything. So I'm going to design the class. The class, of course, won't be that much, but I'm going to send that out very soon. So watch for details on that. And again, these products, being a demonstrator, we have the ability to pre-order. So if interested in getting these right now, you can simply join Stampin' Up!, join my team. I have 18 wonderful people on my team, all lovely ladies, and we all enjoy an awesome discount on everything. We have a lot of camaraderie. We're all stamping sisters. We do a lot of events together, and it's just the most wonderful, one of the most wonderful parts of my life. So I would welcome everybody to have that opportunity. The joining kit for the month of October is $99 for $155 worth of any products in any current catalog. And there's free shipping, and there is also a free paper pumpkin kit that is thrown into the kit. There's business supplies that are free for those who would choose to want to have them. But this can all be ordered right now. So for those who are interested in joining and taking advantage of all that a demonstratorship can offer, just let me know, okay? So that is, I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with this suite. This is called Festive Florets. So if interested in any of that, just let me know. Okay, our project today is a card that comes from our annual catalog. And there are 2 brand new stamp sets. They're brand new to me, and they are in the annual catalog. So the first one we're going to be using is Go To Greetings. We all need a set of sentiments to go along with all of our other stamps. And this one in particular, I absolutely love because it has 3 different styles of fonts. So here's how it looks. And there's 13. And it's a red rubber stamp set. And I love the fact that it has like 3 different moods to it. So this, of course, is very scripty. The sentiments themselves are all the same just about, but the fonts kind of give each of them a different feel. So it's very scripty, kind of formal. This is one of my favorite fonts ever that these little guys are in. And then this one is a little more bold, also not quite as fancy, but I love the versatility of this. And we always have a need for happy birthday and thank you. And so it is an awesome set. So we are on page 26 of the annual catalog. It's right here. And this entire set is just $24. And then the other set that I've had my eye on for a while, we're going to kind of do 2 different sets here, is Garden Birdhouses. So this one, it's kind of getting a little chilly out, and we've been doing a lot of things with autumn and fall and upcoming holidays, but this one is so bright and cheery. We have a lot of birdhouses in our own backyard, and I really, really like how this is. Again, it's one that is awesome for those who like to color, and if not, it can simply be stamped without coloring. But it has the 3 birdhouses, of course, all these little birds. There's some greenery that we can stamp. There is a pole or a post for the birdhouses. Lots of really good sentiments, a branch, which is really fun. And there are 19 in the set, photopolymer, and the set is just $18. So it's a really, really versatile set. And of course, I love to color. So the card that we're going to make with it today, there's a really cute sample here. This is an idea just to stamp with one color. So no coloring of the images themselves. But I'm going to flip back here to where we have the Go To Greetings stamp set I just showed. And we're going to make this card right here, which has the birdhouses, has some designer paper, some stamping, a really cute sentiment using the Go To Greetings Happy Birthday. And so, yeah, I really love that look of that. And we're going to use some blends, do some coloring. And so we can make this any color that we want, but I'm going to kind of follow what's in the catalog. So I'll keep that here to reference on the side. And then the pieces that we need old olive ink, so really any green. And this is so versatile because any designer series paper that we start with for the background of the paper can kind of give it the look and feel that we choose, so it can be very individualized. So this pack of paper is Butterfly Kisses. It's in the annual catalog, and it is lots of happy and colorful 6x6 pieces. I've used a lot of these already, but this is really adorable. And I love kind of the feel of this along with the birdhouses. It's very happy and cheery. So instead of the yellow background that's in the catalog, I'm going to use this piece here. And I kind of want to have my card be a little bit more of a green monochromatic kind of a look. So I cut this piece. It's going to cover the entire front of the card. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And because we're covering the entire card, the base of the card can be really any color because it's not going to show. And so this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. And this is our basic white, but in the heavy cardstock. So it's a little heavier than our normal white cardstock, and that is because we want to have a little heavier cardstock for the base. So there's our base. And then our designer series paper. And again, look how cute that would be too. I just love this pack of paper. So really any DSP, designer series paper, will do. And then I have a piece of old olive. I kind of want to keep that in that same color. And of course our inks match exactly to our cardstock. So that will coordinate exactly. And this piece is, if you kind of wonder how I guesstimate sizes, by looking in the catalog, I know that this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this piece is going to cover majority of the bottom of the piece of designer series paper. So I basically just kind of guesstimate that there's about a 1/2 inch on each side. My ruler is my friend, very close to my ruler here. And so I'm thinking there's about a 1/2 inch on either side. So this piece ended up being 4 1/2, because this is 5 1/2. I think I misquoted, but 5 1/2 in the length. And so 4 1/2 by about 2 1/2. And this really is never ever having to be exact. So just a guesstimate. And then we need a piece of our basic white, and this is more of a square shape. So again, I'm kind of guesstimating based on what I see in the catalog and knowing this is 4 1/2. So I'm just going to have about maybe a 1/2 inch or so of green showing on either side, a little bit on the bottom. And I know there's a little gap on the top and the bottom here. So this piece ended up being 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So that's a square that's going to fit right on the top. And then we need a piece of, let's see, what did I pick? I think I picked crushed curry. So this is a really golden, a deep golden color of yellowish orange color. And that's going to be our sentiment. So that will go there. And then we also need just a few pieces of basic white, some scraps to stamp our birdhouses onto. All right, so let's get started here. I also have my blends markers. I have a yellow, which I picked Mango Melody, so it's a little bit more of like a little bit of a goldish orange. And then I selected Light Poppy Parade, which is a very pretty red. And then I picked Light Crumb Cake, so that's going to be for the roofs of the birdhouses as well as the posts. And then I wanted to show just something that happens. This is one of my older blends. It's very well loved and used. So there are 2 ends to the blends, and our blends markers now come in a 2-pack. So there's a light version and a dark version of the same color. And there are 2 ends. So there's the long brush tip end, which looks like that. It has a nice pointy tip to it. And then there is kind of a nubby end, which looks like that. So the thing to remember about using these blends markers is to be kind of cautious with them, because that tip, that brush end tip, over time and use, if not used correctly, will end up looking like this. So just a tip when coloring with that end is to use some very long strokes. Let me pull a piece of my scrap here. We don't ever want to color straight up and down with that tip. This tip is intended to do longer strokes, and we want to have the brush be on its side. So never do the point straight up and down. If there's coloring that's required to be in a small spot, then this is the right end to use. Okay, so just a tip there. All right, so I'm going to pull aside my old red marker there and get that out of the way. And then I have our Memento black ink. We need that whenever using our alcohol markers because that will inhibit any smearing of the black outline of the image when we do the coloring. I have my adhesives, my glue, my Stampin' Seal Plus, and then I also pulled out my seam binding ribbon, and this color is the soft sea foam, I believe. Yeah, soft sea foam. So again, I'm kind of keeping in that monochromatic green, a green shade. So, but really any ribbon could be used. It's always our choice. Okay, I think I'm ready to start. I have all of the stamps inked, are ready to go. They're mounted and ready to go. And so I think I will start by doing the 3 birdhouses. And this particular stamp set does not have a coordinating die set, but okay, I can hear all the groaning out there through my camera. So whenever I mention fussy cutting, all of my team and customers, well, not all, some like to do it just like I do, but many will do a little groaning. Oh gosh, fussy cutting. I don't like it. Why isn't there a die? But I'll tell you what, these birdhouses are so sweet and cute, and they're very straight edged, which means it will be super easy to cut these out. Okay, so there I did one of each in our Memento black. So I'm going to set that aside for just a second. And then I'm going to bring in my piece of white, and this is the stamp that does the post, and I can't tell which end is up. So I'm going to stamp the posts on here, and let's see if it goes that way or the other way. Okay, it's upside down. So I'm going to just do 3 quick posts. Now these could also be stamped on scrap paper and cut out if we wanted them to be a little bit more dimensional. But I'm just gonna, just for the sake of making it a quicker video, I'm going to stamp these right onto my basic white. And then this one goes right about here. I'm just kind of eyeballing, guesstimating where those birdhouses are gonna fit on top of the posts. And then this one goes on this side a little bit lower. Okay. So I think I'm all finished with the black, although I think I'll go ahead and do my sentiment. And I chose that happy birthday in that font script I just love. So my piece of crushed curry is a little bigger than I'm going to need. So I'm going to stamp it a little bit off to one side. And then, oh, I don't like how that turned out. And then I'll get my paper trimmer and trim this down a little bit. So let's try again here. I'll do the bottom right corner. Okay, that's much cleaner and straighter. All right, so I'll trim that down in just a second. And then our grass, we need to put some grass and flowers along the bottom. And there are these 2 cute stamps. So this one has little tiny flowers on stems, and then this one is just a grass kind of a stamp. Excuse me. So I'm going to add some of these. Oh, look how cute that is. So these are just kind of growing some flowers along the posts. Maybe I'll put one like that and a smaller one here. Okay, that looks cute. And then I'll take this grass and then kind of fill in between. Look how cute. There we go. So we have a little flower bed, excuse me, underneath all of my birdhouses. Okay, I think that part is done, so I'll put that aside for a second. Now, I went ahead and I stamped and started to color already my birdhouses just to make it a little bit quicker on camera, so I wouldn't have to do that and make everybody watch me and wait to do that. So with our blends, always a reminder to have a scrap piece of paper underneath while coloring, because that color does bleed through. So here's one that I will do real quick on camera. Oh, and by the way, I'll do my stems here too. So this is light crumb cake, and I'm going to use the nubby end, and I'm just going to give a little bit of color. So just very gently, kind of like a little flick kind of a motion. The color will flow real easily, so we don't really have to press too hard. And then we can add a little shading, some darker areas to give it some dimension. Okay, so that part's ready. And then I colored in the roof of each of these. I'm going to add just a little color. Blends are awesome because we can go over, keep going over and adding more shade to kind of give a little bit of dimension. So by adding that little bit of extra, just another layer of the brown, that kind of gives a little more dimension to the roof. Do a little bit more on this one too here. I would love to take a class somehow because I just kind of wing it, but I would love to learn like a formal way of doing shading. That looks good. Okay, and then this guy is going to be a red and yellow stripe. So I'm just going to color. Now again, I can use that brush end because I've got a bigger area, and I'm just going to put the tip on an angle and just gently color in. And it's good to leave some white areas because that also makes it look a little bit more lifelike. So there's the roof. And then it looks like the yellow and the red will come in now. I'm going to do this really faintly. I'm just going to add a little bit of red along the edge. Well, I'll color these first. So these are real brightly colored, these front stripes. Okay, and then this edge has a little bit of red, so I'm just going to add a little red like this, kind of in a circular motion. And then I'm going to go over it with my mango. And we can definitely blend two colors together like this. The alcohol will give a nice kind of a muted transition from one color to the other. Hopefully that's visible. So it no longer is just a red line. I'm really kind of blurring by adding the yellow over it, which is really cool. I love how that works. So there, we have a little bit of a transition with just a little bit of the red. So that looks really cool. I love that. And then these are colored just plain yellow. And again, I'm leaving some white space. It's okay to leave a little white here and there. And then the bottom one is actually a little bit more of that pink color. So I'm going to add just a little bit along the bottom and then go over it with the gold to kind of make a pinkish color. There, that looks really good. And I think I'll make the bottom of this bright red. And under here a little bit. Okay, how cute are these? I love this set. So there are my 3 birdhouses. And I think we are ready to assemble. So I'll bring in my card base. And I'll use some green glue. And that will be to attach the designer paper to the front of the card. Okay, and What I like to do when covering the entire front of the card with the same size piece of cardstock is to kind of have it be, I'm kind of tapping it along my desk to make sure I have it straight along the edges and straight along the bottom. And that looks really good. And then I'll press that down. Now, if this piece ends up being just a smidge larger than the card base itself, which I think I have just a little extra here, it's really easy to just snip that right away. Okay, so there's our card base. And then we need to put on our old olive piece here. And that is the piece that's going to have the ribbon. So I'm going to make a fake bow. So to do this, I cut my ribbon about maybe ½ inch or so longer, wider than the piece I'm going to attach it to. And then Stampin' Seal Plus, I'm putting a little bit on the back of each side. And then I'm just wrapping that over. Stampin' Seal Plus works great. This ribbon won't go anywhere for 100 years. So, and I'm just kind of loosely adding that on there. Okay, and then I'll take my ribbon right from the spool. I don't cut ahead of time. I like to just keep it on the spool, and I find it's easier to make a bow or a knot and not waste. So I'm going to make a larger, they have kind of a large floppy bow on here. So I know I need to use, I don't know, maybe that's like 12 inches or so if I did have to measure. So that's how I have it. I'm tying just a knot, and then I'm going to add the bow. So that knot needs to be kind of tight because that will help to hold it in place. And then a bow. Somebody called me a bow whisperer recently, and I thought that was really funny. So sometimes we have to redo it, but it just takes practice. And I'm always helping my customers, my downline, with their bows. It's I love making bows. So, and I'm just holding the middle knot here kind of tight while I pull on the tails, and then one final pull to get them nice and even. Okay, and then we'll snip here to give them a little bit of an angle. And the nice part about making a bow this way is that we can slide it all the way across and have it wherever we would like it. So that's definitely an advantage. And there's no gaps here. This will always be nice and tight. And then if we do need to tighten it up at all, we can simply pull off the back and reposition it, and we're done. Okay, so the bow goes on the far right like this, and then that gets attached to our card base. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned, but I'm going to be using this birdhouse stamp set for my upcoming classes at the end of the month. My Stamp Your Way classes will be October 29 and 30, and I will be sending out the communication about that. But this will definitely be one of the featured classes. So if interested and you love it as much as I do, then be sure to sign up for this class. All right, our next step is going to be to add our piece of white. And I see there's a little bit of green showing on the bottom and green showing on either side. So I'm going to get my bow in place because I won't be able to move that once I get this secured. A little bit of green glue, and I'm just centering that so I have a little green on the bottom and a little on each side. That looks good. Okay, and then birdhouses. So I put some dimensionals on the back of these. Just one is probably plenty. This little one, this bigger one might need two. Okay, and then this one goes on the right like that. And the red one goes, this one's going to be off off a little bit off the top. So that looks good. And then this one kind of tucks right under on that post. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I love this. And then I need to cut down my sentiment. Now, I've done this so many times with scissors, and I kind of go, oh, I'll just cut off a little here. And then I go, oh, I cut off a little here. And then before I know it, I've cut away way too much with my scissors. So I have definitely changed to always use my cutter because I just can't quite get it as straight as I want with scissors. Okay, that looks good. So that's even, I think. Looks pretty good. And then we'll add that to our card, and I think I'll pop that with some dimensionals. This could definitely be cut out of a stitched rectangle, which I think they used on the card, but I think this is good enough. Oh, you know what I think I'm going to do? This is a little trick, excuse me, I've been showing, is to take an ink pad and to make a border right onto the cardstock. I'm simply tapping the edge of my cardstock right into the ink. So it gives the illusion that there's another layer of cardstock underneath there, but we don't have to add the cardstock, and it doesn't add more bulk or weight. So it just gives a little bit of definition. It's so easy to do. I'm just gently tapping it, and I'm kind of holding it in the center too, so I don't get, that ink will take just a second to dry. And so I don't get any smearing. Patsy had shared this with us quite a few months ago, so we've all been doing that quite a bit. There, that looks really fun. I like that. It'll give it just a little bit more definition on the card itself. So, and then that part goes right down here. How sweet is that? I love this card. And then we'll fold back our score here. So adorable. I absolutely love that. Sweet. We could make lots of these, stamp them, make them all different colors. Add a little, we could add, oh, you know what would be really cute is to add those gold butterflies to this. That would be really cute to add. Who wouldn't love to get that card, honestly? It is so incredibly cute. All right, let's bring in the catalog here. So here's the catalog version, and here's my version. So again, I kind of went for that monochromatic look with the green, whereas they used more of the gold in the background, but I really love how it looks. So if interested in that, again, be sure to sign up for my Stamp Your Way classes, which are coming up. And if I can help anybody else with an order, be sure to let me know. And again, our joining special is the whole month of October, so $155 worth of product for $99. And also our host code this month, if placing any orders, if you could please use BQY4KSBF. Okay, thank you everybody for joining me, and I will see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.